most requested workouts, and we are going to work our obliques, or the sides of our abs, kind of right in here today. This is Erin Murphy with EM Health and Fitness. Pardon my sweat. I just got done teaching Zumba in here. It's actually it's just a muggy mess, so I'm glad you're not here to feel the mugginess. But we are going to get after it. You need some sort of a mat if you've got a hard floor, probably. And we're going to be on our elbows a little bit. So if you have a pillow or a mat that you can roll up, that'll probably help you out. All right? So we're going to start out with a modification and move into something a little bit more difficult, then you can choose where you want to be. We're going to start with our elbow on the mat. You can pick a side because we're going to do both. All right? The modified version of this, you're going to bend your bottom knee and come up in a side plank with your knee underneath you. So all of us, let's get there for now. So you're up on your elbow in this side plank. We're going to continue on with our moves, but everything we do can be done from this position. So if you're here today, this will work your obliques if you keep your hip pushed up, but you'll also feel it in your glutes as well. All right? So if you need to come back to this position, you can always do that too. If you want to try a full side plank, your top leg is going to be slightly in front of your bottom foot, and you're going to hold your plank position just like that, and keep your hip up like there was a fire underneath you, okay? So I just want you to hold your side plank position, whether you're on a knee or not. You're going to take your top arm behind your head, see my elbow up here, and you're going to take this elbow, crunch it down as though you were trying to touch your hip with it, okay? So crunch, open up, crunch, and open up. That's it. So keep going. Even if you're on one knee, you can do this. Now, I don't just want you to go through the motions, down and up, down and up. Try to get your elbow as close to your hip as you can. Take a second, breathe, and get that elbow to your hip. That's what's going to force. Keep going. This oblique down here to work, okay? Touch that elbow to your hip. Whew. You want to exhale when your elbow goes to your hip. Now you're probably not going to be able to touch it. I don't know, maybe some of you can. But just mentally try to get as close as you can get. And breathe. We're going to do 15. Whew. 14. 13. Keep that hip off the ground. 12. 11, 10, 9, oh, I'm feeling it, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and come down. Oh my goodness. So obviously this lower oblique is going to be super tired. Your arm might be a little bit tired too. That's okay. We're going to move on so we're on both of our arms. This is one of my favorite moves for the obliques. So you're still going to be in a plank position. You're still going to need that padding. I want you to see my feet. So we're going to be on our elbows. My head's going to be a little bit away from you for a second. Elbows on that padding. I want you to come up in a full plank position. Feet are together. Okay? I want you to be able to see my feet. Touching. All you're going to do is tip your feet to one side so they're stacked. Bring them back to the center. Tip them to the other side, back to the center. Keep your back side down. You don't need to shuffle around with your feet. Just tip them, okay? Tip, center, tip, center. Here we go. Tip, center, tip, and center. Now, if you don't have shoes on, this might bug your feet, so go get some shoes. Make sure you breathe. Side, center, side, center. Side, center, side, and center. Side, center, side, and center. Perfect. Woo! Think we can do 15? Here we go. 15 and 15. Yeah, on each side. 14, 14, 13, and 13. 12. Now keep going. If you're on the full plank and you can do it, keep going. If you need to, you can drop down to your knees. Hip, center, hip, center. Hip, center, come back. Final 5. 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2. Last one. 1 and 1. Oh my goodness. Give you a little bit of a breather. Now, whatever side you have been on, we've been working the lower oblique. When you were facing straight down, we were working both sides. Now, I still want to work this lower oblique, but what we're about to do changes so that we're working the oblique on top. So I want you to take your head to the other end. You might still want a little bit of padding. I'm not going to use mine, but you need to switch your head to the other side so that oblique that was down is now up, right? This is one of my favorite moves. It's a really subtle move, but it's killer. So you've got to get the mechanics of this move right. So I'm going to yell at you a whole bunch when we're doing this. So I want you all the way down. You can rest your head on your hand if you want. I prefer to just straighten my arm out, but if your neck gets really tired, rest your head on your hand, okay? Top arm, you're going to put it behind your head and crunch and hold your crunch. Now this is why this is such a subtle move. What I want you to think is this hip and your rib cage, you need to get them as close together as you can and just hold it. It's not a big move, you're just squeezing. It should kind of lift this leg up when you do it, okay? So just squeeze. If your arm gets tired, put it down. I don't care as long as you're holding this little crunch right here. So think hip, rib cage, smallest, little small space between the two, okay? Get them close, then hold it. So this leg is lifted slightly, right? You need to support your head, go ahead, but keep this crunch. Hold your crunch. You're going to take this leg, bring it forward just a little. You should be able to crunch even harder and bring it back. Crunch and bring it back. Keep going. Sometimes this can take a little bit to master, okay? You don't want to be somewhere that's uncomfortable on that lower hip, so adjust yourself. It's a tiny, tiny subtle move where all you have to do is hold and maintain your crunch right there, okay? All that bringing your leg forward just slightly does is allow you to crunch a little bit closer together. It gives you a tiny bit more range of motion. So basically all you're doing is squeezing this side crunch, holding it. You're raising your hip up close to your rib cage there on the side, okay? Squeeze and squeeze, okay? Just squeeze as hard as you can. Make sure you breathe. Perfect. Little teeny squeezes. We're going to do 20. I just want you to try and maintain that crunch and give me a little extra when your foot comes forward and forward. We've got 20, 19, 18. Keep your hip and your rib cage close together. 16, 15. Now this should be starting to burn and cramp if you're really squeezing. 13, make sure you breathe. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, I just want you to hold it. Your legs out a little bit in front of you, and you're trying to crunch your rib cage. Just make this space smaller. Hold it right there. Crunch, crunch, crunch. And rest. All right, you're going to lay your head down. You can reach your top arm over really quick and give yourself a little stretch. And then we're going to start over. You can stay on this side because we're going to do this other oblique, the lower one. So rewind the video, and now you'll be starting up on this side, and when you switch at the end, your head will be at the other side. All right, let's